Good morning. I'm Jen Amos at Weiss Research.
I'm Andy Myers, and this is your morning market update for Monday, May 9th. U.S. investors are largely focused on international affairs today. Top Chinese officials are in Washington for 2 days of talks likely to center on trade relations between the two countries. Meanwhile, renewed concerns about Greece's sovereign debt are weighing on European markets. Over the weekend, the country's finance minister said Greece is considering asking for another bailout from the European Union and International Monetary Fund. Greece is still unable to access capital markets, despite a €110 billion rescue last year.
Greece's continued debt troubles prompted Standard & Poor's to cut its long-term sovereign credit rating again. S&P said Eurozone officials may need to extend the country's debt payment maturities, which would constitute a selective default. That news is having a big impact on the currency markets. The euro had been recovering much of the ground it lost last week against the U.S. dollar, but it's now giving up most of those earlier gains. Meanwhile, commodities are rebounding sharply after last week's crash. Crude oil is closing in on the $100 a barrel mark after falling 15% last week. And silver is back near $37 an ounce after it suffered its biggest weekly decline in more than 3 decades. Gold is also rising this morning, now trading right around $1,500 an ounce.
We're seeing M&A activity in a couple different sectors this morning. Hertz Global Holdings is making another run at Dollar Thrifty Auto Group. Last year, Dollar Thrifty rejected an offer from Hertz, instead opting for a rival bid from Avis Budget Group that is now being reviewed by regulators. But now Hertz is offering $72 a share, or about $2.1 billion, 24% above the Avis bid. Shares of Dollar Thrifty are jumping more than 10% on the news, and Hertz is rising more than 2%. But Avis is losing about 2% in early trading. Meanwhile, in the biotech industry, Alkermes is buying EDT, the drug formation and manufacturing unit of Ireland's Elan Corporation. The cash and stock deal is worth about $960 million. Elan will own 25% of the new combined company. Its shares are rising more than 4% in U.S. trading, and Alkermes is jumping 6%.
A new survey of the world's top brands is crowning a new champion. The Financial Times reported that Apple is now the most valuable brand in the world, supplanting Google. Apple has a stock market capitalization of about $320 billion versus Google's $172 billion. The rankings are based on a report from Brand Z, a subsidiary of the UK advertising company WPP. And finally, it's our weekly roundup of the financial institutions that shut their doors, compiled by Weiss Ratings. Only one made the list this week, Coastal Bank of Cocoa Beach, Florida. That brings the total number of failed banks and thrifts this year to 40. That's the latest from Weiss Research. Have a great trading day.